Hello everyone. So this is the second part of the series of PYQ where I am going to discuss the NET 2007 English paper, and here I will start with 26 question number 26. So Ode on the Spring was written, it was written by Thomas Gray. He was born in 26th December 1716 and died on 30 July 1771. He was an English poet, letter writer and professor at Cambridge University. He is widely known for his work, as you already know, Elegy written in the country churchyard, and which was published in 1751. Then the next question, which of the following books was not published in 1859? As you all know that Darwin's famous work The Origin of Species published in 1859. George Eliot's Adam Bede also published in 1859, and Mills on Liberty also published in 1859, but John Ruskin books Unto This Last was published in 1860. So Ruskin's works are always asked, and here also the answer will be Unto This Last is an essay and book on economy by John Ruskin. It was first published in 1860 on December. Then Three Guineas is the title of a book by Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf is a Three Guineas is a book-length essay by Virginia Woolf, which was published in 1938. So it was published in 1938. Then Harold Pinter's books are asked in chronology. Okay, so here The Room published first. It was published in 1957. Then The Birthday Party 1958. Then The Dumb Waiter 1959 and Caretaker 1960. So Darwin Origin of Species published in 1859, and here The Dumb Waiter published in 1959. So you can remember it with a trick like there is a room and there some birthday party was going on, and some dumb waiters are doing something. They are the dumb waiter caretaking the birthday party. Okay, so you can remember in that way. There is a room and a birthday party is going on. Some dumb waiters are taking care of the birthday party. Okay, so let's see the next question. Question number 30. Identify the odd character out. These types of question also asked. So identify the odd characters out. All characters having a grey shade with some selfish feeling except Kent. He was totally devoted to his king. So here Bosola, you know where Bosola came, where in which play Bosola came. This is a question you can write down on the comment section. Then Iago from Othello, and D Flores, and here Kent is the Kent. We see the character Kent in King's Lear, right? King's Lear, Kent was the friend of the king. So here he is the good character. He is not selfish. So you have to answer where we see the character Bosola and where we see the character D Flores. Okay, Bosola, you know the famous play, and D Flores. Okay, so you can comment in the comment section. Then the great Gatsby, the Old Man and the Sea, for whom the bell tolls, and Sound and the Fury. Sound and the Fury, the title came from Macbeth. For whom the bell tolls, the title came from John Donne's poem. And the Old Man and the Sea by Hemingway. Great Gatsby. So you see The Old Man and the Sea is a short novel written by American author Ernest Hemingway in 1951. Okay, it tells the story of Santiago, an aging Cuban fisherman. So this is a right, because this this story was in Cuba. Okay, so this is the answer. So an aging Cuban fisherman who struggles with a giant marlin. So who is giant, who struggles with a giant marlin, which is a whale. Okay, so this is all about the suffering or struggles of Santiago, the character. Sometimes they ask the main character, who is Santiago, and it was written by Ernest Hemingway in 1951. So this is the right answer. Then the next question, the page is printed. This is the last line in a poem, and in which poem? So this is the last line of Thought Fox by Ted Hughes. The above line has been taken from the poem The Thought Fox, which was written in 1984 by Ted Hughes. Okay, the page is printed. The Thought Fox, you know the famous poem Thought Fox, and it was also asked in many way in UGC net, because this is a famous poem by Ted Hughes, and it was written in 1984. T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland was first published, and it is an easy question. So it was published in, so it is published in, The Wasteland was published in 1922. The 434 line poem first published in the Criterion. So please remember, it was published in the Criterion. Okay. Then the next question. Relationship is a poem by, Jayanta Mahapatra. So Jayanta Mahapatra wrote the poem Relationship, was published in 1980 in New York. Kamala Das, so here are some description about all the authors given in the option. Kamala Das was also a famous writer, and he was born in 1934 to 1934, sorry, there is a mistake. He was born in 1934 and died in 2009. Also known by her one-time pen name Madhavikutty and Kamala Surya. Was an Indian English poet, literary and leading Malayalam author from Kerala. Then A.K. Ramanujan and R. Parthasarathi, along with Jayanta Mahapatra, from the trio of great Indian poets in English. So you should know about these poets, because these writers, because they are always asked, and sometimes this time they ask in chronology. Okay, so you should know the important writers, important Indian writers, and their writings in chronology, with their publishing date, and also these writers' date of birth. The phrase bottomless perdition occurs in Milton's Paradise Lost, and it was published in book 1, Bottomless Perdition. So Paradise Lost, this time also they asked in chronology. It was published in 1667 first edition, and then 1674. Is divided into 12 books and was written by John Milton. The above phrase appears in book 1, line 47. Bottomless Perdition. Which of the following arrangement of American plays is in the correct chronological sequence? Okay, now you should write in the chronology. Okay, so first Harry F was written by U.G. O'Neill. It was published in 1922, same as Wasteland. Then Morning Becomes Electra by Eugene O'Neill. It was published in 1931. Then A Streetcar Named Desire 1947 by Tennis Williams, and Death of a Salesman. It was published in 1949 by Arthur Miller. So these are the classical texts, and you should know all these very deeply. So here he published by Eugene O'Neill in 1922. Morning Becomes Electra by Eugene O'Neill 1931. A Streetcar Named Desire published in 1947 by Tennis Williams, and Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller published in 1949. Okay, then there is also a chronological question. Okay, so Beatrice is from Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Much Ado About Nothing, it was published in 1599. Then Victoria Corombona from John Webster's The White Devil. So Victoria Corombona from Webster The White Devil, it was published in 1612. Then Hieronymo was from Shakespeare's Winter's Tale 1623, and Christiana from John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, it was published in 1678. So first Beatrice from Much Ado About Nothing 1599, The White Devil, Victoria Corombona 1612, then Hermione from Winter's Tale 1623, and then John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress 1678. So if you know Christiana, you can answer the question, right? Because Christiana, John Bunyan's Pilgrims was much later. Then which of the following is correct chronological order? So this same question, no, not this same question, this time they ask Milton's Lycidas. Okay, so Milton's Lycidas published in 1637. Thomas Gray's an elegy written in a country churchyard published in 1750. Shelley's Adonis, they asked this time that it was published for whom. It was published for John Keats. So it was published 1821. Tennis in Memoriam, there is a question from Tennyson's In Memoriam that it's better to love and lose than never love. So it was published in 1849. Okay, Tennyson's In Memoriam 1849. Milton's Lycidas 1637. Thomas Gray's An Elegy written in the country churchyard 1750, and Shelley's Adonis 1821. Okay, then the Chartist demonstration in London involving the third presentation of charter took place in. So Chartism was a working class movement for political reform in British which excited from 1838 to 1858. Support for the movement was at its highest in 1839, 1842 and 1848, when petitions signed by the millions of working people were presented in House of Commons. So Chartism was a working class movement, and the question was the Chartist demonstration in London involving the third presentation of charter took place. So it took place in 1848. So you should remember the date very well, because this is very much important. Support the movement was its highest in 1839 first, then 1842 and 1848. If you enter the Victorian period, you should know about this Chartist movement, when petitions signed by millions of working people were presented to the House of Commons. Okay, so the third one is 1848. Then life like a dome of many colored glass stains the white radiance of eternity until death tramples it into fragments. The above lines occurs in Adonis. So this time they ask Adonis, Shelley's Adonis. So this is a Repeated question. The above line, I repeat the line, life like a dome of many colored glass stains the white radiance of eternity until death tramples it into fragments. So it occurs in Adonis, and it was written by the above lines occurs in pastoral elegy Adonis and elegy on the death of John Keats by P.V. Shelley for John Keats in 1821. So in this paper also they repeat this question. Arrange it in chronological order. So let's see. Mr. Rochester, you know the famous hero from Jane Eyre. So Jane Eyre published in 1847 by Charlotte Bronte. Then David Copperfield, you all know that it was from Charles Dickens' work, from David Copperfield, and it was published in 1850. Then Rosamond by from Middlemarch by George Eliot. So Rosamond from Middlemarch, it was published in 1871, and Bathsheba from Far from the Madding Crowd, it was published in 1874 by Thomas Hardy. So you see that how they ask in chronology from the very beginning of this exam. So Jane Eyre's they already only gave the character's name, and you have to arrange it in chronology. So Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre, it was published in 1847, the earliest work by Charlotte Bronte. Then David Copperfield from David Copperfield, and it was published in 1850. It was written by Charles Dickens. Rosamond from Middlemarch, it was published in 1871 by George Eliot. Bathsheba from Far from the Madding Crowd, it was published in 1874 by Thomas Hardy. Okay. The book Religion of Man is written by, so it was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Religion of Man, it was written by Rabindranath Tagore in 1931, is a compilation of lectures by Rabindranath Tagore edited by him and drawn largely from Hibbert lectures given at Oxford University in May 1930. So he himself edited it. So they can ask also this type of question. The Religion of Man was written by Rabindranath Tagore. In poem Windover Hopkins uses, so Hopkins, you know, if they give you Hopkins, you should write split rhythm. So this time they gave this question that split rhythm or sprung rhythm. They give you the match the following, and there you can see the Hopkins with sprung rhythm. So that's how they repeat their question. They did not exactly copy paste it, but they gave you the concept, and you have to tick it right. Okay, so the Windover, it was published in 1877, written by G.M. Hopkins in a poem written in sprung rhythm, a meter in which the number of accents in a line are counted but the number of syllables does not matter. So it is a meter in which the number of accents in a line are counted but numbers of syllables does not matter. The poem uses broken or split rhyme produced by dividing a word at the line break of a poem to make a rhyme with the end of word and another line. For example, the word kingdom at the end of the first line is divided into rhyme with wing in the fourth line. Okay. So this is an example of sprung rhythm. Then the next question, this type of question they always ask. Which Dickens novel attacked the new poor law of 1834 in the opening chapters? The answer will be Oliver Twist. So the Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist, which was published in 1839, attacked the New Poor Law of 1834. The New Poor Law was really a series of measures that were enacted in 1834. Okay, So here you can see the new poor law of 1834 in Oliver Twist novel. Okay, then 45. Throw away thy rod, throw away thy worth. Oh my God, take the gentle path. And it was written by Herbert. Okay, so the above line are taken from the poem Discipline, written by Herbert Spencer. In Herbert Spencer, he was born in 1820 and died in 1903. So, throw away thy rod, throw away thy wrath. Oh my God, take the gentle path. It was published, written by Herbert in Discipline. Okay. Epithalamium, you know that epithalamium is a nuptial song. Epithalamium is a poem written specially for the bride on the way of her marital chamber. So you know that Edmund Spencer was famous for epithalamium and prothalamium. So epithalamium is a poem written specially for the bride on the way to her marital chamber. The Gutenberg first published. So the Gutenberg first published in 1456. The Gutenberg is also known as the 42-line Bible. Was first published, was the major book which marked the start of Gutenberg revolution. It came out from Mainz, Germany in around 1454 to 1456. So the Gutenberg was first published in 1456. Then identify the odd one out, and there you can see that Emma cannot be Jane Fairfax. Okay, Persuasion, Annie Tinley, Norton Abbey, the heroine Catherine Price, Mansfield Park, also the heroine Fanny Dean. Okay, and all characters are protagonists of novel except Jane Fairfax in Emma, a novel by Jane Austen published in 1815. In the novel, Emma Woodhouse, so Emma's protagonist is Emma. Emma Woodhouse is the protagonist, and Jane is an orphan. Okay. Then again the chronological question. So first will be Thinking About Women by Margaret L. Anderson, which was published in 1983. Then The Prison of Sex by Norman Mailer, published in 1971. Okay. Okay, it is the descending order. So they ask the descending order. Which of the following is the correct? No, they don't ask descending order. Here in the explanation they gave it in descending order. Then Sexual Politics, Kate Millett, and 1970, and the Second Sex they asked this time. Okay, so this is the importance to revise the Pyq. The Second Sex they asked this time. It was published in 1949. So they asked the Room of One's Own, maybe, then Second Sex and other works. So Second Sex will be 1949. Sexual Politics by Kate Millett. They also can ask the author with their works. The Kate Millett, Sexual Politics, 1970. Norman Mailer's The Prison of Sex, 1971. Margaret L. Anderson, Thinking About Women, 1983. Then Coleridge Kubla Khan remains a fragment because this is an easy question. So he was interrupted by a caller, a person from on business from prologue. So Kubla Khan is a poem written by Coleridge, composed 1797, published in 1816. It is said that Coleridge's sequence of thought was broken by a caller of business from Porlock, and he could not remember it afterward, and so Kubla Khan remained a fragment. Okay, so it was published in 1797. and it was a fragment. Okay, so this is the end of this series, 50 questions. So I hope you like this series also, and if you like, please show your uh, likeness by liking and hitting the like button, and comment, answer my question. So thank you for giving your time.